tried to write 100 social media posts with AI and I struggled. I meet with my social media manager in exactly 60 minutes. And if I don't have these captions done, I'll let her down, I'll waste both of our time, and I won't have what I need to show up with the power and consistency to turn my Instagram around. You see, my Instagram stats have plummeted recently. You see, I've been so busy lately building a business and an agency and being a mom and delivering to clients and building a team that I've been phoning in and outsourcing my Instagram. It hasn't been super consistent or potent or even me at all. And although it's not my main platform, I feel a little guilty for not showing up there like I want to be for the community that I have built. But all I gotta do to fix that is write some killer captions with AI in a short amount of time. I mean, how hard could that be? So I need to get as many bomb posts written as I can in that time frame, because I know in order to hit my growth goals, I need to show up with massive consistency and frequency, but I also know that with everything I have coming up with my next launch, I'm probably not gonna be able to sit down and create Instagram posts for a while. So I'm gonna use ChatGPT to help me create 100 in an hour. Now, this is gonna be challenging because frankly, I've been trying to use ChatGPT to write posts for me in the nooks and crannies of my day for a while. And I usually encounter some sort of error messages or really repetitive posts. But this time I have a plan because I asked ChatGPT the most effective and efficient way to use it to create content. And it gave me some really valuable information. Number 1, use clear and specific prompts. Number 2, provide relevant information and constraints. Number 3, include tone and style. Number 4, note my target audience. And number 5, identify a specific platform. So all I've got to do is these 5 things over and over again until I reach 100 posts. And I also have to make sure every caption creates an emotional reaction because that's what actually gets people to buy. So I've basically got to come up with my highest performing posts ever in the shortest amount of time or I'm doomed. Now, to make my life a little bit easier, I did previously ask ChatGPT to give me a list of hooks that I can use to come up with ideas and prompts as I'm doing this. And I used its advice when asking for these hooks. I said, you're a copywriting coach for online entrepreneurs. You write in a fun, entertaining, conversational, and inspiring tone of voice. Write 33 eye-catching posts for Instagram that'll teach online entrepreneurs how to write copy with AI. But a hook is not a full caption, and my writing style leans towards being long form and high value. So I kind of have my doubts that ChatGPT can actually mimic my tone of voice because there's no point wasting anyone's time cranking out 100 mediocre posts. So the first thing I did is I had ChatGPT analyze my writing style from one of my previous posts. Frankly, I was shocked with how good it did. It hit the nail on the head. But the clock was ticking, so I need to get writing some posts. I said, in Laura's voice, write 3 captions on how online entrepreneurs can use AI to write their captions more efficient and more effective. During my previous failed attempts, I'd noticed that I got better responses when I only asked it to create a few posts at a time. And the result I got was impressive. So I asked it to write 3 more and 3 more. And at this point, I'm only about 6.5 minutes in and things are looking pretty good. But I do keep changing up my prompts a little bit to avoid repetitiveness. I say, give me tips and tricks or give me step-by-step. Then I got my first error. I quickly opened a new chat. I look at the clock and I realize in a blink of an eye, I'm already at 12 minutes and behind the quota that I need to be hitting to write my post. I need to write more than 1 post per minute if I'm going to reach my goal. And I know that this one thing could take me out, leading to failure, disappointment, and disaster. But when I refreshed, it worked. So I asked it to write 3 more posts in Laura's voice. But that was a mistake. I was in a new chat window. I hadn't trained it on Laura's voice yet. So what it put out was garbage. So I tried a shortcut and tell it to write in Tina Fey's voice because who doesn't like Tina Fey? So I described my own voice as fun, casual, and entertaining, and remember to tell it to prioritize expert and unusual information. That's a hack that seems to always get me better results. And I did. I finally got some good results again. I even switched up my prompt to ask for little known information on the topic, and it got even better. But at this point, I'm already 20 minutes in and I'm a little bit behind, so I start asking it for 5 posts at a time instead of 3. I'm rushing and it seems like it looks pretty good, so I go ahead and ask for another 5 more. Then I realize I'm 30 minutes in and I have 50 posts. For the first time, I'm thinking, wow, I could actually do this. I could actually write 100 quality posts in 1 hour with ChatGPT. Fatal last words, because it all went downhill from there. I take a minute to assess what I have and I realize that several of the posts have gotten really repetitive. There's a different hook and a different tip or trick, but the structure of the post is all the same. I couldn't keep going on that way if I wanted really high quality posts. So I open a new chat window, have it analyze another post of mine, and ask for 3 step-by-step posts in order to get high quality content. But it comes out generic. And I keep putting in prompts and trying to come up with some quality stuff, but I just keep getting the same old repetitive structure over and over again. And I'm trying really hard using all 5 steps it gave me and all the tips and tricks I've picked up along the way, but I'm still getting really repetitive responses. It's really frustrating because I'm getting more and more behind. That's when the doorbell rings, which frankly, given the time crunch, I consider ignoring. But I know my comic book loving husband has some books that he's been waiting for that need a signature. So me, being the loving wife that I am, hop up out of my chair and race downstairs. I swing open the door like a frantic lunatic and terrify the FedEx guy. Although it's probably an improvement considering he usually sees me at 2 p.m. in my pajamas. Anyway, I put the box on the floor because it's not my problem anymore and I race back up the stairs. All the while, I'm trying not to let the fears creep in about, am I good enough? Are these captions good enough? Can ChatGPT really help me turn my account around? Because I am way behind. I don't see how I can possibly get this done. And at this point, I have to acknowledge that the results I'm getting are really repetitive. I need more variety, more spice. Feeling defeated, I decide to use the time I have left to create some really high quality content. I stop rushing and work 1 post at a time. I want the rest to be really good and I want to talk about storytelling. So I ask it to write a post in my voice explaining the hero's journey step by step. The hero's journey is a proven, tried and true storytelling formula. And ChatGPT gives me a long, like really long, like I'm not sure it'll fit in the Instagram character limit long post. I immediately think this is not usable. So I try another story form and I feel like I'm getting somewhere on this formula path. So I try having it write a couple of posts breaking down different copywriting formulas. Things are going slow, but the posts are really high quality. Then I notice that all of them have multiple steps or multiple tips and tricks. I realized that I could actually break them up into multi-part posts. I am a sucker for when they say follow for part 2. And here I am looking at post after post with really juicy content that's all written in multiple parts, the hero's journey being one that's even 12 parts long. I start adding them up and I realize that if I break the steps, tips, and tricks down to multiple posts, that I am exactly 5 away from my goal with less than a minute left before I'm supposed to hop on a call with my social media manager. At this point, it's not just about delivering her posts that she can post and schedule. Yes, that's important, but at this point, I want to win. So asking ChatGPT to write posts based on existing copywriting formulas has been working really well for me, and I decide to go with it again. I type in my last prompt. I hit enter. That's when I realized that if this post has 5 parts to it, I will complete my goal of writing 100 posts in an hour. But if this post falls short of 5 parts by even 1, I will fall short of my goal. As the response from ChatGPT comes in, I am literally holding my breath. And when I see that number 5 show up, I cheer. I think I might have even almost cried. And that's how I wrote 100 posts in an hour with ChatGPT.